morning. Rene Gonzalez, another shrimping story. I want to make a story about the Gulf King 11. That was a good boat there, man. Uh, that year, I think it was around 1984 when I got on the Gulf King 11. But I think that was the year that we had a couple of different hurricanes that come by, some light ones, I guess 100-mile winds or 120-mile winds. They would come by, and after the hurricane, we would start catching a lot of shrimp off of Aransas Pass. We used to drag out there, well, everywhere, out from the 20 fathoms offshore up to 25, 28 fathoms. From the 3900 line, you would go south. Go south in all the 38 fathoms out to 40 fathoms, 45 fathoms. There was a big old fleet, man. Big shrimp showing up around the clock with those hurricanes. A lot of crab, but big old shrimp piles. But we used to catch a lot of shrimp on those boats right there. The Gulf King 11, I think we had about 3 or 4 different back-to-back 100 box trips, 115, 110 box. 100 box trip was a big trip for for an ice boat back then in the day. That's a lot of shrimp, a lot of hitting and icing down that shrimp right and keeping it. But in that Gulf King 11, we think up in Louisiana, uh, quite a few different guys that were working with me, and we do a lot of clocking, and we were hitting a man up on that 7500 line one time. Uh, we were going around the clock there, those 30 pounds, 35 pounds. Oh, Crazy Dave was working beside me. He was on the Gulf King 16, I believe, when he was on the Gulf King 11. And he beat me to that trip. I think I had 115 boxes on that trip, and Crazy Dave had 130 boxes. He had a woman as a rig man. But they were putting some shrimp away, man. It sure was. But that Gulf King 11, we went through a lot of hard weather there working, but we caught a lot of shrimp, man. And so Gulf King 11, I'm saying that we thinking I went all the way to Gulf King, I mean, 1985, from 84 to 85, worked at Gulf King 11. And then after the Gulf King 11, they gave me the Gulf King 33. It's a little bigger boat. Because those Rice Cove boats, those were 72 footers. And Gulf King 33 was a 82 footer, a little bigger boat. But anyway, I want to make another video about that one, the Gulf King 33. But we had a lot of good experiences about that shrimping when the hurricanes would go by, and a lot of crabs would show up, man, but a lot of little baby crabs. And we had big old piles of shrimp, man. They were all over the place at that time. Right here off of Aransas there, you get out there those 31, 32 fathoms, and or 36 fathoms, I believe, and you can just drag one way. And it's a lot of dragging bottom. It's for people that knows it, how to catch shrimp around those areas. A little favorite, after so many years of working the same areas, you get to get favors, areas that you like to work, because they always do you right. You always catch shrimp when you go to those same areas there. So that's what you do there after so many years. Uh, but I'm not sure how many trips. I think it was 3 of them. There were 100 box trips back to back, man. But back then, in those days, we were really hustling, man. On those ice boats like that, we would go out those 27, 28 day trips, and and come right back. Go home just for 3 4 days and reload and get ready and come right back out, man. And I mean, they were back to back. We were catching shrimp, so we would go right back out. So, so we put a lot of time out there working the rough weather back there in those years when the shrimp was around there, man. And I want to make another story about that Gulf King 33, but I'm not sure which one of the year that they closed the 200-mile limit. The first time they did that. The first time, I'm not sure. It's around those areas. I'm not sure if it was 84 or 85. Because there's another boat that I made a trip, and that year when they first closed the 200-mile limit, man, there was shrimp up the yang yang, dude. I want to make a video about that one, but it's a different boat. It was the John Kemp. I was working for Oscar Gouger there in Aransas Pass at that time. So, but I'm thinking that I wanted to relate a little bit about that story when I was still on. No, I better not. But anyway, uh, but hopefully that y'all get an idea of what was going on around those years when we were working the Gulf King 11 and all them, 1984, 85, when we were shrimping here off of Aransas, and when we had those hurricanes hit. There was two of them, I think, or three of them. I'm not sure. And how all that shrimp had showed up, and all that shrimp that was coming in at the co-op in Gulf King there, in Gulf King. There's a lot of boats. Uh, I wish I could find those guys. Uh, I think it was Channel 3 News and all of them. It was three different times that they came in at the running season. They would come to Gulf King unloading and make a make a story about whoever's unloading. And I got caught three different times by the news guy that made an interview with me when we were unloading there for Gulf King there. One of them was a Gulf King 11. The other one was Gulf King 33, and I think one made one when I was on the Gulf King 47, brand new boat. But anyway, I want to relate another story about that later on, about when when I was with the Gulf Kings, and then I want to kind of express a little bit that I don't know these years, in my younger days, I uh, I had a habit. I had an addiction, and I was dealing with an addiction all through these years, which shrimping was that's what helped me a lot with my addiction. Is when I go out shrimping and go away, go out and on the boat, stay away from home, because every time I was around the docks and all that, all I had in my mind was uh, getting high and stuff like that. But anyway, I would like to kind of start relating a little bit, well, how it affected me in my shrimping career. Is that addiction, how it did knock me down. I did lose all my, how would you say that, that everybody would hire me for any because I was a good captain, but then it comes down when you get burned, you burn your own self. And that's how old Ed Bruni used to tell me that you make your own bed, now you gotta lay on it. And that's, in other words, that's how your life is going. And when you get involved with any kind of drugs or stuff like that, you got hooked up with addiction, get addicted, and then later on it drives you. It kind of your life is going to be different. It's not going to be the same no more. It affects everybody. It affects everybody around you, and it just affects your whole lifestyle. Where you could prosper, and your addiction got in the way, and that kind of stuff. So I want to start relating different kind of stories about how I had bad luck because of that addiction of mine. But anyway, so I'm gonna be making another video about this one later on.